Hi everyone, today I'm showing you the mobile game Infinity Blade 2, one of the best iOS games ever created. The game was based on the novel Infinity Blade. The story is about the protagonist Cirrus and his journey to find the Worker of Secrets in the Vault of Tears. Along the way, he finds out the Infinity Blade opens the pathway to God King, the antagonist's dungeon.
Yes, I thought you might fall for that. You opened a pathway to my dungeons, after all. Thank you for returning this to me.
Give me a sword. Fight me.
I think not. You surprised me last time. I don't think I'll put myself in that position again. You really don't know what you are, do you? Ironic. What did you do to yourself? Oh, son.
While the God King was trying to kill him, Izza, his fellows, tried to save him by killing him, or he would have been killed by the Infinity Blade. Cirrus wakes up, soon realizes that he is one of the Deathless. The Deathless cannot be killed unless he is killed by the sword Infinity Blade.
Worker, I will free you.
Infinity Blade 2 was developed by Epic Games and Share Entertainment. It was released on December 1st, 2011 during Apple's iPhone 4S presentation keynote. The game was considered a significant improvement in graphic performance from the first generation of the game, Infinity Blade Awakening. It was released exclusively through Apple's App Store, so iOS is the only platform that supports the game. According to Lindsay Grace's genre identification, Infinity Blade 2 would be considered a role-playing game, in which the gamer immerses themselves in the story of the protagonist Cirrus. Grace suggests that character movement is technical. It is quite apparent in Infinity Blade 2, as the player must navigate the block, dodge, magical, and attacking techniques in a technical and complex manner in order to defeat the enemy. The subgenre is identifiable as an action role-playing game, as the game emphasizes frequent combat, which the player must respond to in real time on a regular basis. The game's primary attraction is the intensity of action and reflex response. The game should be considered an exemplary role-playing action game because of the physical skills required to use certain actions in the right time to avoid being damaged by enemy. The player needs to master himself the fighting skills in order to survive in the game. The player cannot attack the enemy while the enemy is attacking the player. The only chance for a player to fight back is during the fight break. For the game itself, it is an excellent mobile game for its mobility and exceptional graphic quality for its time, in 2011. It offers excellent quality of graphics and gives the players ability to choose different styles of play, either defensive or attacking. Thus, the game offers customization of weapons and items, which gives more room for players to switch between different playing styles. The creators of Infinity Blade 2 have a narratology approach to the game, as it is based off the novel Infinity Blade Awakening, aligning the storyline in the game with that of the novel. Infinity Blade 2 has a linear circular narrative structure, where Cirrus' journey is presented in chronological order. The player has the ability to choose and explore different paths in the castle, which can lead to different locations to end the game, such as visiting Thane's Tower, the Cavern of the Stone Demon, or the chamber containing the MX Galactic. This provides a circular narrative since after defeating the enemies, the player will rebirth again. The game also has an embedded narrative in which the player is enlightened to a backstory, adding context to why Cirrus is at the castle. The player is encouraged to discover things around the castle, helping them reveal the narrative. The game relies on cutscenes to explain the context of why Cirrus is fighting certain opponents. These clips also showcase the game's beautiful graphics in cinematic style. Infinity Blade 2 also has an emergent complexity, in which the game opponents develop skill, difficulty, and strength every time the player is reborn. Cirrus' character traits can be described as risk-taker, adventurous, and kind. Cirrus' character archetype would be identifying him as the hero. The main qualities of Infinity Blade 2 are its wide range of appeal to different kinds of gamers, and the fantastic game mechanics. Infinity Blade 2 was such a successful game because it appeals to so many different gamers through the gamer motivation model, specifically action, mastery, achievement, and immersion. The gamer motivation model compares gamer motivation and game choice based on a study of gamers who filled out gamer motivation profiles. The key motivators that would attract gamers to play Infinity Blade 2 is action, specifically the excitement qualities of the game. Infinity Blade 2 is a fast-paced action game that requires the gamers to react quickly when dealing with enemy players. The consequences of mistiming a block or attack can be detrimental and result in losing the fight, therefore creating a thrilling atmosphere for the player. Players who seek a game with elements of mastery may also be attracted to this game because of the challenge aspect in Infinity Blade 2. When you fight one of the game bosses, it is at a high difficulty. Power-hungry players will appreciate Infinity Blade 2's completion and power aspects evident in achievement qualities in the game, such as increasing stats and equipment like health, shields, and gems to make them more powerful when fighting enemies. These are the common ways for players to display their dominance. Players who want to collect all the items and weapons as well as completing all the missions and defeating all the characters will appreciate this game. Although some players may be mainly attracted to the action and mastery aspects of this game, some players will be charmed by the immersion, despite its platform being a mobile game. Fantasy and story are involved in Infinity Blade 2 because players cannot experience the setting, environment, and story outside of the game. According to Bartle's taxonomy, the player who would most be interested in this game are achievers, because they would enjoy maxing out their stats and the process of increasing their stats on such items like gems, shields, and weapons. Now I'll talk about the mechanics in Infinity Blade 2. We have skills such as physical skills, manipulating the controller, mental skills such as being observant, looking for treasure, hidden rooms, decision-making, and problem-solving, as well as social skills such as predicting enemy moves and attacks. Objects that are in this game include weapons such as the sword, the shield, the helmet, and the ring. Actions that are included in this game are blocking, which allows you to block enemy attacks, dodging, which allows you to avoid enemy attacks, and striking, which allows you to damage on the enemy health bar and attack your enemy. The magic ring action, which is resultant, allows you to heal or stun your enemy. All of these actions are resultant actions which result by using operative actions to tap in designated screen areas which allow users to perform a certain action. Infinity Blade 2 was hugely successful, with millions of downloads, generating over $5 million for developers since its release, and the first generation of the game has earned over $30 million of revenue. Product strategy. As this is a sequel to previous Infinity Blade mobile games, the producers knew that the game would have a 1 to 2 year life cycle before having to add a third edition to the Infinity Blade series. Typically, mobile games such as Infinity Blade 2 have life cycles which are that in tune with the iPhone. As the new phone series comes out, it can support higher resolution with greater capacity, increasing the mobile game's affordance. The distribution model used for this game was the waterfall method, including design, implementation, testing, and the final release of the product. The distribution is direct to the retailer, as the game is only sold through Apple's App Store. The revenue logic for Infinity Blade is to receive revenue initially for game sales, as it originally retailed on the App Store for $6.99. Further revenue can be made from in-app purchases or microtransactions, which allow players to purchase in-game currency used to purchase weapons and other expensive or rare items. The game is ad-free and does not have any DLC content which is paid for. The main conditions that led to Infinity Blade 2's mass success was appeal to such a wide range of gamers through 14 forms of fun. Infinity Blade 2 excels in 6 out of the 14 forms of fun that we discussed in week 4 of lecture, such as beauty, discovery, application of ability, advancement and completion, immersion, as well as power. Therefore, the game is suitable for different forms of fun, which attracts many different types of players. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comment down below if you guys have played this game before, and let me know what your opinion about it is. We'll see you guys in the next video.